Dave was asking me about this. This is a tool to check your spokes. This gauge means absolutely nothing except to compare each spoke with it. And what you do is it's got two little spaces in there, and you lift up and you put the spoke in between there, and then you release, and then you read the measurement. A perfectly true rim will be perfectly the same, but there's no such thing, or there's a perfectionist, one or the other, that never rides their rim and only trues it. But this is the ones the bike professionals use cost hundreds and hundreds. This is the $20 cheap model. And what you want to do is just test your spokes all the way around. And that's what it's going to do. I'll show you what I'm working on today, or this week. This week I'll finish the plumbus. I'll take a 440 that I got right here, and I will copycat this engine right here down to the millimeter of what the cylinder is, what the porting is. Instead of the numbers, I'll just show you the piston and copy the piston. For the port work, I'll just copy the port work. And we'll just copy this engine just for fun. Down to everything. Down to the width here. What we got here. Put them together like this. And just take it down to that. Same distance there. The port timing and blowdown adjustments mostly on the piston. And it's an open port transfer on a closed port cylinder. And we'll be doing that this week. I'll be doing that, the copycat. And then I'll be working on this. Something new. Fill a case. I'm calling it the plumbus. I'm going to drop a thing in there. Check my stroke once more. And stack it. I need 2 bearings. And I need to remove the rubber. And good morning. If you have any questions, please hit me up. I'm all dressed, not wearing jammies. I'm here. Ask away, or I'll just work away. Your choice. I don't like to remove the rubbers until the last thing. And sometimes I'll stack it on the crank, and sometimes I'll put it into the bearing. It's an AF80, unbalanced. I've got to separate my work tools. Ha ha! Hee 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 ho! Ha ha! Yeah. Also do a little work on this Klein. Let's do some work on that. Everybody loves carburetor work, so carburetor work. My weakest subject, so you'll see me working on it more than anything. Somebody been burning that thing. Methanol. Take those with work. What am I going to do? I'm going to check the jet, and do some work. Push the pin out. Push the pin out. remove the float, check this right here. And what you want to do is make sure that it's still, I'm sorry if I'm speaking loud, I got headphones on. You want to make sure this has a spring right here. Check that. That's important. That's what shuts off the fuel. Remove some of this stuff. Remove our jet and this, and make sure it only has 2 holes and not 4. 4 would be for a 4-stroke. 2 holes would be for a 2-stroke. That's the difference between a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke. Lots of people ask me, what do you have to do? Change this out. This is the air hole to here. See that? Okay, this is the hole that goes to here, right? This goes to here. This goes to here. This goes to here. Find out where each one of your ports go. One of your air inlets, find out where they go, where they're blowing, and why they're blowing there. And if you need that in a 4-stroke or in a 2-stroke, a lot of that shit's for 4-stroke. Just taking some regular cheap steel wool. I'm not using the good stuff. I'm using the cheap stuff. You have to use the good stuff on the billet. And you don't want to do too much on your slide. But you can work that as much as you want. You can do the inside of your bowl. Oh, I forgot to remove the choke. There's your choke. In, out. Locks the air valve. Should use the fine, good steel wool on pistons only. But it's right in front of me, man. You don't want to take too much off your skirt or your exhaust will leak. But this is the intake side. Take all you want off the intake side. You just need it to seal right there. And that right here is where you don't want to sand. Your lip, you want rolled to the inside. No jack in the box. With the inside perfectly smooth. Well, as smooth as you can get it, man. It's cast aluminum. The head. Clean the ring. I just want to work one edge off. Mostly on the down, it felt like. Magnetic. Watch. Come with me. See, that would have been bad to run. That was sitting in your piston ring. See that? Sledge. Magnetic power. And then let's switch to a stronger magnet. The power of magnetics compels you. Come with me. The best part about using steel wool is it can be removed with a magnet if you're working on an aluminum surface. That would have been bad in the cylinder. Same with the aluminum here. Stick your magnet in. Stick your magnet in on this side. Spin it a little. This is cheap steel wool. Cheap. Cheap steel wool breaks apart. Good steel wool, expensive steel wool doesn't as much. I'm trying to get it smooth to keep the mist a mist instead of condensating on the walls and becoming a liquid again. Liquid means you're going to flood. A gas means you're going to burn. And much faster with a Dremel, but you're never going to screw up with steel wool. You're never going to go too wide. You're never going to let that slip and hit. Lots of people use a Dremel, because I do too. And I'll be in a rush and I'll hit it, and I'll fucking make some shit-ass gouges. You look at anybody's Dremel work, you can tell how much time they spent by how many times the Dremel went mad. The slower you run a Dremel, the less that's going to happen. The faster you run it, the more it's going to happen. Just did a little work on the slide, just the top. Let's work on that. and clean the top so the threads will bite. When you work on threads, you don't want to work on this part. You want to work on this so it's easier for the threads to catch. Like your rim, you want a little rim there. Just a little one. Let's take out our air. Show you where that goes. Show you how that works. Little pin. Little pin goes here. Actually, it goes here. And you see where it goes into here. And then there's a chamber here. I'm still picking up some more magnetic. Cheap steel wool. I had metal in there. Or not that. That was the hole going all the way through. Check it. There's the spring. See that spring? A lot of people will be like, my air switch won't fucking work. A lot of times you'll be missing that spring, guys. Right there. See? Important. That's where the spring goes. But it sits in here and then connects to your jets. See that? This chamber connects here. And where's it drawn from? It's drawing from, it's connected here, here, and here. All three of those, but we got to find our airport that also connects to that. So the airport is probably here, right here. There's our airport right there. And you'll probably see gas squirt out of this. What that means, if it's squirting out there, is usually the carburetor is lower than the cylinder. Do the little ball. And let's just make sure we can push it in. Nope, it don't push in. There's our air venturi right there. Whew, picked up a bunch. Right there. Or not an air venturi. That's, yeah, it's on the top. So that's going to be an air venturi. Get to know your part. Spend a good 20-30 minutes on each one of your parts. Clean it. Figure out how it works. Figure out how you can make it work better. Let's check our flow. Become the fuel. Okay, I'm the fuel. $5 a roll down at Home Depot. I go through so much that fuel line is just something I have to buy in bulk. Just looking for the other end. There it is. Okay, let's become the fuel. All I'm going to do is blow through the tube. There we go. Glasses off. All the air is coming right there. I'll show you. I'm blowing through the gas line. These little things are pressure release in case there's too much pressure. I don't know why. There's so many stupid things installed on a carburetor that that we as a two-stroke user don't need. But watch, I'll blow. I can blow as hard as I want, but if I close that, that's it. That's where the air goes. That's where the fuel comes out. How does it get from here to the jets? Well, let's take a look at that. This sits into there. It's going to go into the bowl right there. And this sits right here and opens up with a pin. And opens up, right, with the float. Okay. The bowl fills up. This one's not drilled. I should drill it. I'll do the drill port. Oh, you can on this one. The one where it screws out, you can do it. But okay. It's going to fill up, right? It's going to fill up the bowl. Well, then the pressure, like a bong, is going to suck up this little tube right here. Whatever you plug up, never plug up the bong hole. Okay. What this is a lot of people think it's an overflow, but what it is it's sucking fuel up and feeding up into the mist, into this cavity right here, this one. And this is an air suction hole right there. That's important. Don't clog that one up. And the best way to figure out how the part works. Okay, so the fuel's coming in, dump it into the bowl. This is where the jet's being filled. Blow through that line. That's your lead to your jets. If this is full, let me get my headphones off. Wow, my music is so fucking loud. I'm sorry if I'm screaming. This fills up and shoots out your jets. This is your one that's always open. This one is controlled by the needle right there. See that? When the needle lifts up, it opens this jet to spray. It's going to suck in air and it's going to blow down and make a mist. And then how does it get into the carburetor? Well, it's going to make the mist and blow it through that hole and mix through the jet. A lot of people think the jet works the opposite. They think it's spray. But anyway, I'll get to that. But this powers your two jets. You never want to have this one clogged. Blow. You should hear it coming out here, and then there should be an overflow with your there. It should be working your choke, and it should be working both jets. So blow. I need the small fuel line to make this. You get the fuel line for weed eaters, and that fits onto that one. What you blow through this one, and let's just cover up a couple ports. So let's start first with cover. Thanks for the thumbs up, man. Shit, appreciate that. Thank you. First, let's screw this one back in and make sure the choke is working. The choke should, when I blow through the jet feed line, that should clog up the choke, and it does. And then let's open it again. Don't you love it when the choke doesn't freaking work? There we go. There we go. And now we're open. Screw back down and blow. Okay, that doesn't feed the jet. That only feeds the choke. That is your fuel line for choke only. Open that up. blow, close it, airtight. That feeds the choke. Okay, what's feeding? We know what's feeding this. The pin's feeding this. We've got to figure out what's feeding this and this one. And then we'll have the whole carburetor figured out. Let's get the bowl again. Let's put the bowl on. Okay, we got the bubbler. It's going to bubble it out. We have our overflow there, which is connected here, and it's connected to the bottom of the bowl. So the jets are being powered by the depth of your fuel and air mixture. Let's blow through the jets. Right, let's blow through the small one. Coming straight out of here. It diverts, that's where this one's coming out right here. There's a little hole right there. And that's feeding your, idle. That's your idle. That's always going to be on. This one is controlled by the needle up and down, and it's going to be fed with the jet. The jet's going to sit into the puddle of gas and air mixture, hopefully. Mostly gas, though. It's going to sit in the fuel line. And that one is high as hell. You'll also want to check your height of this. How deep do you want it to sit in the puddle? All that. Clean the threads out, though. The threads are dirty. You can tell on that. Alcohol. Naphtha. Let's do some naphtha. Let's do some lighter fluid. I seem to get a little lighter fluid and a little alcohol. But what I suggest everybody do with their carburetors, just sit down with them, take it apart, and figure out how they work. Any carburetor. But another thing is the water test them or alcohol. You just fill it up and see where it comes out. And I can see where it's dripping out. That's straight through. And then here is your idle. Okay. This one is your choke. And this one is your fuel line. That's going to go straight out the fuel. There you go. That's dripping right out. Water will tell you, water, alcohol, gas will tell you how all of these work and where the holes go. Fill up the dish, clean it out real good, wipe it out. I haven't used one of these in a while. That's an alcohol. And let's go to power jetting it. Next. Pokers, poke all the holes. Like that, poke them out. Let's break out Tappa Tappa Tappa. Tappa Tappa. Tap tap tap. God, I would have killed for Tappa Tappa Tappa. When I was first starting out, would have killed for Tappa Tappa Tappa. Clean out your idler. Clean out your air mixture. Blow through the air mixture. See where it's mixing. See if it's doing this hole and that hole or just the one hole. It's both holes. So when the pin is all the way in, it's going to close off the big jet and only have the little one. Lighter fluid, naphtha. Especially on the slide. Definitely on the slide. And I got 30 minutes on a carburetor mostly. Didn't build anything on the cylinder, but you always need a carburetor, man. And everybody's like, I'm just waiting for a carburetor in the mail. We all are. We all are fucking waiting for a car. But until you get that carburetor in the mail, work with what you got. How many people are waiting for carburetors in the mail? I'm always waiting for a new carburetor. One less problem. But I should rename the show Carburetor Talk because that's what I ended up talking about. Let's put it back together. It's got a nice stick from the naphtha. That means the coating was left behind. Let's touch it up with a little silicone. Only on the slide. A little bit of silicone on the slide. The naphtha grabbed the oil as it goes through, and it'll grab tons of oil. So the stick is fine here. It'll get smooth. It'll get real smooth super fast. You just don't want it sticky on your slide. You don't want your fuel to stick. Your pin. You don't want your pin to stick. Put it back together. Oh, I got to clean the threads. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Please like, please subscribe, please share. What's up? Thanks for joining, Lost Hope. I'll hang out for a little bit since you're here. What's up, man? A little alcohol, clean the threads. What's new, Lost? Welcome. Thanks for joining. You're awesome, man. Hope you can make it to California in a couple weeks. Hope so, man. Let me see what size jet I got in that. Look at all the sanding. Also over 700. Well, thanks. Thank you. I didn't clean the bowl. Damn it. I have to clean the bowl with the cleaner, or with that. That's what's going to puddle my mix. Roughness puddles. Smoothness keeps a mix a gas. I have a lot of people fight with me over that. Let's say smoothness is good. It bubbles or it condensates. I think the opposite. I think roughness condensates. But there's a lot of people that don't. And thank you for over 700, man. 300. I'll send that to you so fast. I can't wait, dude. Clean your rings. Always clean your rings, man. Clean your rings around the ring if it catches. What do I mean by catch? Meaning that if you put it in the cylinder and it's hard to push it down, that means that a ring is catching somewhere in the cylinder usually. You could have the wrong ring in it too. I've done that one a few times. Yeah, thank you for the 700. Awesome. Just cleaning my carburetor. Which carburetor do you have? Lost, you were talking about an OKO. OKO and Klein are the same thing, a PWK and a PE. This is a PE. Yeah, there's a PWK. What does PWK stand for? Power something Klein, and it's got a K. And that's where the K comes from. But this is a PE, meaning PE is the cheaper version of the PWK, usually. But the PWK, at least you can mod the bowl down below. Get the light on the bowl. On a PWK, the bowl screws in and it doesn't have these two cutaways. So what most people do is drill a hole to make the two cutaways in the threads. The two holes right here help feed this jet, the choke jet, and the idle jet. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like. I'll see you guys at the races, man. I want to see everyone at the race. Let's go to the races.